All right, let's talk about SEO. But I want you to think about it a little differently today. Today, you and I, we're architects. But instead of concrete and steel, we're building with keywords and code. We're going to completely demystify search engine optimization by looking at it like a construction project, from the very first blueprint all the way to a finished, polished structure that gets that #1 spot. So, let's get to it.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll look at the blueprint. That's SEO 101. Then we're laying the foundation with keyword research. After that, we actually build the structure with on-page content, give it some authority with link building, and finally, we do our regular maintenance checks with technical SEO. See how it all fits together? Let's jump in.
Any great project, whether it's a skyscraper or a website, starts with a solid plan. For us, that means really getting a handle on the core principles of how search engines see the world. This is our blueprint. It's the master plan that's going to guide every single decision we make from here on out. And it all really boils down to this one huge question. We use search engines every single day, but how do they really work? Getting this is the key that unlocks everything else in SEO. It's the difference between just throwing stuff at the wall and hoping it sticks and actually engineering something that's built to last. Okay, the easiest way to picture this is to think of Google as the biggest library in the entire world. But instead of books, it stores copies of web pages, billions of them. Now, to find these pages, it uses these little automated programs we call crawlers or spiders. They just follow links from one page to another, discovering new content, and they bring it all back to be stored in this gigantic database called an index. So get this, when you do a search, you're not searching the live internet, you're searching Google's saved copy of it. So, with literally trillions of pages in that library, how in the world does Google decide which ones to show you at the top? Well, there are hundreds of factors, but these three are the real heavy hitters. First up, backlinks. You can think of these as votes or citations from other websites. When a trusted, authoritative site links to you, it's a huge signal to Google that your content is credible. Second is search intent. Look, Google's main goal is to give you exactly what you're looking for, so you keep coming back. It's gotten incredibly good at figuring out the reason behind your search. Are you trying to buy something, learn something, or find something specific? And finally, content depth. Simply put, does your page give the searcher the most complete and satisfying answer out there?
Okay, so we've got our blueprint. We understand the basics. Now it's time to actually survey the land. This is keyword research. This is the foundational work of finding the perfect plots of digital land to build on. It's all about figuring out what people are actually looking for, so we don't end up building a beautiful mansion in the middle of nowhere.
And to figure out which plots of land are worth building on, we need a solid checklist. Number 1, is there search demand? Are people even looking for this stuff? 2, what's the real traffic potential? Not just for one keyword, but for the whole topic. 3, and this is a big one, does it have business potential? Is this traffic actually going to help our goals? 4, can we match the searcher's intent? We just talked about that. And finally, 5, can we realistically rank for this, or is the competition just way too tough right now?
Now that fourth point, matching search intent. Honestly, this might be the single most important concept to get right in modern SEO. Just look at this example. You search for slow cooker. What does Google show you? E-commerce sites, product pages. It knows you're probably looking to buy one. That's a transactional intent. But if you just add one word and search slow cooker recipes, boom, now you get blog posts and listicles. The intent is totally different. It's informational. If you create the wrong type of content for the query, you're just not going to rank. It's that simple.
So the big question is, how do we get this right every time? Well, lucky for us, the answer is right there in the search results. You just need to be a detective and use what I call the 3 C's. First, content type. Look at what's ranking. Are they blog posts, product pages, videos? Next, content format. Are they how-to guides? Are they listicles like top 10? Or are they reviews? And finally, the content angle. What's the unique hook? Is it for beginners? Is it the ultimate guide? Is it updated for this year? The top results will literally hand you the blueprint for what you need to create.
All right, blueprint is done. Our foundation is solid. We've picked our plot of land. Now, it's time to actually start building. This is on-page SEO. This is the art of actually raising the walls and framing the rooms, crafting pages that both search engines and, more importantly, real people are going to absolutely love. But hold on! Before we start putting up drywall, we got to clear out some of the old rubble. SEO is just filled with outdated advice. The old myth was keyword stuffing. Just jam your keyword in everywhere. The modern fact? Satisfy intent. Answer the question completely. The old myth was keyword density. Hit a specific percentage. The fact today? Topical relevance. Cover the subject deeply. The old myth was every post has to be 2,000 words long. The truth? It just needs to be long enough to solve the person's problem. That's it.
So let's just get crystal clear on this. Forget all the old tricks. The real, true goal of on-page SEO today is right here on the screen. It's to satisfy the searcher's intent better than anyone else. That's it. That's the whole game. If you can make this your North Star for everything you create, I promise you are already way ahead of the competition. Okay, so practically, how do we do that? Here's your go-to checklist for every single page you build. Make sure your main keyword is in your title. Use a short, easy-to-read URL. Write a meta description that actually makes people want to click. Add internal links to other relevant pages on your site. This helps build a logical structure. Optimize your images with descriptive file names. And this is a big one. Make sure your content is easy to read. Use short sentences, subheadings, and lots of white space. Our structure is up. It looks great. It's useful. But if there are no roads leading to it, who's going to find it? We need to build its reputation in the neighborhood. And that's link building. It's the process of earning those citations and that all-important credibility. Now, to do this right, we have to totally reframe what link building even means. You have to forget the old idea of just getting links. Modern effective link building is all about building relationships. It's about connecting with other people in your space and showing them that linking to your content will actually make their content better for their audience. It's a win-win. Of course, not all links are created equal, right? A recommendation from an expert in your field means way more than from some random person. Same goes for backlinks. So what makes a link high quality? First, it's relevant. It comes from a site that's actually in your niche. Second, it has authority. The site linking to you is trusted and strong. Third, the placement is natural, right within the main body of the content. And finally, it's a followed link. That just means there isn't a little piece of code telling Google, hey, don't count this as a vote. We want the votes that count.
A lot of this relationship building starts with a simple email. And let's be honest, most outreach emails are just terrible. So let's build the perfect one, piece by piece. First, the subject line has one job. Get them to open it. Then your intro has to show you've done your research. Why are you emailing them specifically? Next, you got to qualify yourself. Why should they even listen to you? Then comes the pitch, a clear ask but framed around how it helps them. And finally, a simple closing that just keeps the door open for a conversation.
All right, our building is standing tall, it's got a great reputation, people know how to get there. We're almost done. The last stage of our project is the final inspection and, the ongoing maintenance. This is technical SEO. This is the crucial work that makes sure the foundation is still solid and everything's up to code.
I know technical SEO sounds super intimidating, but I promise it's not. The goal is actually really simple. Make it as easy as humanly possible for search engines to do their job. It's all about clearing away any roadblocks that might stop them from finding, understanding, and indexing all your great content.
Let's just pull back the curtain on a few of these so you can see they're not that complicated. For example, a no-index tag, it's just a little line of code that says, hey Google, just ignore this page please. You might use it on a thank you page or an internal admin page. Then there's the canonical tag. This tells Google which version of a page is the main one, which helps avoid issues with duplicate content. And finally, robots.txt. It's just a simple text file that gives crawlers a set of ground rules, like, hey, don't go into this private area of the site.
So, what does your regular maintenance plan look like? Well, it really just boils down to three main things. First, always maintain a logical site structure with those internal links. Think of it like good signage in a building. Second, make sure your pages load fast. Nobody likes waiting for a slow website. And third, run regular audits, just like a building inspection. This helps you catch and fix small problems before they become huge ones.
And there you have it, the complete architect's journey. From the very first sketch to the final inspection, we've covered the blueprint, the foundation, the structure itself, the authority, and the maintenance. You now have the full set of plans. The only question left is, what are you going to build first?